Mid-spring is a great time to have a look at running bamboo because the canes are coming up all over the place. Clumping bamboo, they have already established. They start around about March to April to come up with the canes. And most of their canes have already reached mature height. So let's have a look at some bamboo. For the past 3 weeks, all the running bamboos have been penetrating the soil. And look at them. Some of them are quite thick already. And here we have the black bamboo. You can see new shoots here, new shoots there. There's taller ones here. Huang Wengshu, they're coming up as well. There's one, here is one, and again, they're starting quite thick. The Atrovaginata is also starting there, and there's some more canes over here. Quite a few. It's super exciting time, and also this is the time, as I said before in other videos, you know, when you can decide, well, you know what, I don't want to have a cane growing here, so I'm just going to dig up the cane as well as the rhizome, and that's the way I control mine. There is one prime example further at the front, this one here. So I've got the rhizome trench here, and there's a cane coming up. So, and this is a Huang Wengshu inversa. And for the purpose of this video, I'm on my knees and have a look where the rhizome actually comes from. Anyway, let's have a look where the rhizome is actually going. There's the rhizome, and this is how deep it is. So when you see it from the rhizome down here, so this is where the rhizome is traveling. But it is still within the confined area, so I'm happy with it. You know, when I was younger, it was much easier being on my knees than now. So if we're briefly talking about clumping bamboo, they start at the beginning of the year, maybe March, April. This is when they start to come up. Scrabida is the first one, at least in my garden. And once they start developing leaves on the new canes, that is the height they're going to reach for that particular year. As you can see, some of the new canes are a little bit higher than the older ones. These ones here, those are the older ones, these are the newer ones, and they're starting to develop leaves, which means this is the height they're going to be for this year. And this particular one can grow to about 2.5–3 meters, so we have a little bit more to go. Also, I keep on rambling on about rhizome trenches. I have dug them all over the place, and some of them are 2 or 3. I think the oldest one is about 4 years old. And this is what happened to them if you don't look after them. They start looking like this, like little slits in the ground. And this part here on the side is really, really loose, because originally it was this wide. So I did this earlier on, but I wanted to show you guys the difference. So what you need to do ever so often is go in with a hoe and yank the edge up. In, underneath, and pull. Because at the end of the day, grass and moss will grow over the edge, and then rather than it being a trench, it becomes a slit. And also when you step onto the side, it breaks in really, really easily. So thank God Jane didn't break her ankle because of this. She did because she was balancing and doing something on the tree, so it wasn't my fault. And like any bamboo, they're quite predictable. So here is the mother plant, although it's only one cane, and then here you've got another one, the new shoot, and obviously the rhizome is going this way, so it's going into the trench, and I'm good with that. However, there's another one here, also quite thick, and I have to have a look whether the shoot is going, whether the rhizome is going this way, that way, this way. I just want to be aware. I'm not going to cut it off today. I just want to know. While I grew up in the family, they always believed ignorance is bliss. I try not to be. When it comes to bamboo, you want to make sure that you can find them to where you want them to be. If you ignore them, they're going to be everywhere and you're fucked. I broke my nail. Anyway, I've been digging around like a mole rat, and now I can actually show you what a cane and a node and an emerging cane looks like in the soil. So this is where the mother plant was. This is where the new cane is coming up. So they're quite predictable with the grow pattern. So here is the actual rhizome. And this would have been a new cane. This was on top, but I chopped that off because I didn't see it. It was still underground. You can see up here with the coloring, it just emerged and I didn't see it. However, but this is really interesting. So the rhizome is running basically pretty straight. Here is another node which will also become a cane. This is a cane, it would have been quite a big one, that was going to be coming up, so not too far away from the other one. And this is when people get into a false sense of security, because over years the canes are quite close together, so you think they're all clumping. But in the meantime, they're running underground, and all of a sudden 10 meters along you're going boom, 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 they all start fucking popping up a few years later. So be aware of that. And just for the people that want to know how deep it actually was around about 12 centimeters or 4.5 inches, I believe it is. So this one doesn't grow very deep, but the other Huang Wenxi I've got back there grows around about 30 to 35 centimeters deep. So you never really know. You're gonna have to dig about, you know, finger in the soil and find out where they are and put the spade in. Just be aware, they're not all the same. They may be coming from the same family, but they're not all the same. Same as children. Some are fat, some are not, some are nice, some are not. Same thing. Another thing, if you want to establish this sort of look, that you have a smooth cane and that the foliage is starting further up. So all you got to do right here where the new leaves would emerge, and remember from the video identifying a runner or a clumper, this has indent because this is where the leaves are coming up. This is a runner. Anyway, all you do is that. So you snap them off, same down here, same there. It doesn't do anything to the plant. So also mid to late spring is the best time to split bamboo. We put it into some pots, have it as decoration around the patio or around the garden, or plant it in the garden, but again make sure clumper, runner, you know the precautions you have to take. And just to remind everybody else, when it comes down to running bamboo, 1st year sleeping, 3rd year creeping, 5th year leaping. Remember. Anyway, that's it for today, and I shall talk to you guys later.